currently 6 AM up at Serenely Estate, and the sun is just rising over the Himalayas. So after the dust and chaos and noise of Delhi, we have arrived at Serenely Estate, the home of Vikram Mehra and his staff. It's going to be our home for the next 2 days, and it really is quite a contrast and quite a relief after the overnight train. This place is a virtual paradise. At 7,817 metres high, Nanda Devi on the right hand side here was thought to be the highest mountain on Earth until 1852, when they discovered Mount Everest. Nowadays, Nanda Devi sits 27th on the list of the world's highest mountains. Quite a relegation. So here I am in Corbett National Park. The park was established in 1936 and was the very first of its kind in the whole of India. In 1957 it was named after Jim Corbett, famous British tiger hunter, who, although he began as someone who shot the tiger, would later go on to become quite the conservationist. His work here led to the creation of 22 other tiger parks around the country, and the creation in 1973 of Project Tiger, when the entire of the Indian government tried their best to preserve this great animal. We've arrived in the town of Rishikesh, a place which shot to prominence in the 1970s when the Beatles came and stayed here and spent 3 months writing songs which would later end up on the White Album. I say the Beatles. Ringo got bored of the food after 2 weeks and went home. The town itself is still as popular now with hippies from the West as it was back then. After the exertions of a 12-hour overnight train journey, it's really rather nice to arrive here at the Vivanta Palace in Lucknow. Right now we're looking at the remains of the residency in Lucknow. This was the scene in 1857 of an enormous siege that lasted 147 days, where the British were trapped inside, costing thousands of lives. Aside from the residency, Lucknow is also famous for the huge mosque and clock tower at Bara Imbara, and La Martiniere School, which was opened in 1840 and boasts Sir Cliff Richard among its former pupils. Not only that, it is also the home of the chaikang, a light embroidered cloth worn by men and women which makes for an excellent gift. Today we have arrived at one of India's most holy cities, Allahabad. It is significant for a number of reasons. Firstly, the Hindu god of creation, Brahma, is believed to have landed on earth here. Secondly, in a great battle between the gods and the demons over a pitcher of immortal life, as Vishnu escaped, 4 drops were spilt and landed in Haridwar, Nasik, Ujjain and here. Finally, it is the meeting point of the 3 most holy rivers, the Yamuna, the Ganges and the invisible Saraswati. This point where the 3 rivers converge is known as the Sangam, and a boat ride out to this spot at sunset is an absolute must. Because of all this, Allahabad is the chosen site for the Kumbh Mela festival, known as the largest human gathering on earth, which is held every 12 years. In 2001, it is estimated that 60 million people bathed in these waters on a single day, and Wild Frontiers will be at the next one. In his book, Slowly Down the Ganges, after which this trip is named, Eric Newby wrote the following. Looking down into this great and noble river, the face of which was capable of such extraordinary changes of expression, all in the space of a few moments, we experienced that feeling which comes so rarely to human beings, of wishing that the moment in which we were living might be infinitely prolonged. Varanasi is thought to be the oldest continually inhabited city on Earth. Not only that, but it is the centre of the Hindu faith, and believed to be a particularly auspicious place to die. The reason for that being is that it ends the cycle of life and death, and if you do actually die here, then you go straight to heaven. The next best thing, of course, is simply to be cremated on the banks of the river. Our final stop on the Slowly Down the Ganges tour is Kolkata, arriving as we do off our third overnight train. The former capital of the British Raj, Kolkata has a mixed history and reputation, but from what I've seen, is a city striving hard to change its image. It is clean, it is orderly, or relatively so, and it is full of classical architecture, colourful markets, and some of the friendliest people we've met. I, for one, cannot wait to come back.